All right, we're gonna start a new city, and the map will be Great Highlands, and the name of this city will be OrganiCity. So the primary goal is to create an organic city. So we're going to have less grid. All right, and this is our starting tile. So before we start, let's take a good look at the area. So the wind direction is going to the northeast. Therefore, our industries will have to be on that side. There's a lot of cliffside here. And let's see, the terrain is a little jagged. So we're going to start to kind of flatten this out. Okay, so there is a secret path over here. Secret highway going to the outside, which is great. So now this one, instead of using that trick where you put a key wall, we're gonna try to do something different that I don't think I've seen anyone do. So we are gonna create our low density along this, but we are gonna do some terraforming so that our roads can come in, and eventually the idea is the roads will eventually go down or decline, and then we're gonna have our small houses. And small houses in city skylines have less rent, therefore the people will complain less. So it's actually a good thing to have this kind of build, and we're gonna see how it's gonna look in the end. And of course, we're gonna start to fill in with trees so that we can fill in the empty gaps. Okay, I think we have enough to go with, so I'm gonna go ahead and start zoning in. So we're only gonna zone small tiny homes, and I'm also going to plant in some trees so that it will fill in, and it also takes a long while for the trees to grow, so it's best to start it now. Okay, that is a pretty good start. Let's go ahead and add in our main roads. So I'm going to be using the medium road, and again our plan is our industry will be here, and so the main piece will be in the middle. So you want to keep your services in the middle, because if they're at the corner they would like travel a really long way, but if your services are here they could like manage to go in all all directions compared to being at a corner. So we need to plan our services properly. Okay, let's add in the other services. So we need to add water. The pumping station can be over here. Okay, now when it comes to the sewage, the sewage takes many years for it to drain out or to become clean. So I'm going to do a trick, and what we're going to do is we are going to create our own and then I'm gonna put it right over here. Okay, then pause again. Then we're gonna close this gap. So until we get the water treatment plant, it will just go here, and then when we fill it in, it will completely disappear. At least hopefully it will. Let's go ahead and add in our power. So we're just gonna use a transformer. We'll just put it over here. Then we'll just go underground. Okay, I think we have everything that we need. All right, there we go. Everything is starting to fill in. And now we just need to add in as needed. So for example, if we need more residential, we're gonna leave that out, but we definitely need more industry. So let's start zoning in a few more. All right, and we just hit our first milestone, and that gives us medium density and row housing and some map tiles and a few roads. So at this point, the first thing that happens to your city is somebody's gonna die. So we need to put a cemetery as soon as possible, and this looks like a perfect spot. And then our plan to place here will be our school. So let's go ahead and put in our cemetery. Okay, so let's go ahead and start zoning along our main road. So notice how I scatter my commercial areas. So when you scatter your commercial areas, it is also less likely for it to complain about not enough customers. Because the idea is if you have all your commercial in one spot, basically they are competing for customers. So it's a lot better if you scatter them around. All right, and we just hit milestone 2. And here we have an elementary school and a high school. So these two are very, very important. So we need to plop them down as soon as possible. Okay, guys, let's keep going. And another thing to take note is that we also unlock the medium density residential zoning. So we're gonna make use of that immensely. All right, so first let's add in our schools, or first the medical. This was available earlier, but I just missed to add it in. So let's go ahead and place it down somewhere. We have not used any development points, and the first things that I will unlock are road services, and we're gonna also add in parking lots. All right, so we've used them all. So let's go ahead and start adding in some parking lots. And here I'm going to reserve this area for our police station and also our firehouse. So that will unlock in the next milestone. So let's go ahead and plan our education area. So we have an elementary school and the high school. We're going to start with the high school, and immediately I'm just going to put down the sports field. We'll put it on this side. Okay, then we added in our elementary school right next to that, and that should pacify everything that we need. We're not going to add any attachments. It's a little too early, so let's just go ahead and entertain all the other needs of the city. So we're going to continue zoning in. Alright, we are now milestone 3 that unlocked our fire and rescue and the police. So let's go ahead and plan where we're going to place them. So let's check what kind of attachments we can add on this. So this we can put on the side, and then this has an expansion there. This is within itself, while this is also within itself. So that is a great, I think we can, like, since it's within the building itself, we can just make this one huge square. Yeah, I like this layout. I think this layout is great. We could have like a, you know, a little sports area at the back for our boys in red and blue. Yeah, that's pretty good, neat. Okay, so things are continuing to be developed. We only have a few alerts, which is a great thing. Yeah, so let's go ahead and continue zoning. Okay, one thing that we have not done is unlocked anything, and we have a lot of industry demand. There is specialized industry, but for this episode, we are not going to do that because that's a different technique altogether. So let's just go ahead and unlock this, and let's just somewhat expand our industry area. Not too much, just enough to hopefully get to the next level. Okay, while we wait for things to fill in, let's check out the milestones or things we can unlock. And what I am waiting for is the parks and recreation. So that's on the next milestone. So that's why I have this reserved for that. And also this area. So you're gonna see some holes around. And let's see where else you can add in. This I'm not quite sure because again I mentioned that I want to use a sports stadium like or no, what is that called? I honestly did not play City Skylines 2 that much. I was just waiting for the game to kind of, fix itself. Oh, okay. All right, so that's what we need to do. We need to kind of fix traffic. So let's add in a road maintenance depot. All right, so we did find something to do. Let's put her over here. Okay, and the other thing that we did not do at all is check out the resources. So we have fertile land there, and we have oil here. So we need to keep that in mind. So at least in a future episode, we're gonna be doing those things. Let's see. We need at least low density residential, and we have like a lot of areas here that I haven't filled in. So let's go ahead and zone those. And one thing that we certainly did not add is a garbage facility. So I think we have an area here that is suitable for that. Let's check the terrain. Yeah, so it's on a slope and that doesn't really matter as much. So let's go ahead and plan out our garbage area. Okay, we are now milestone 4, and that should give us parks and recreation. Yes, there you go. So we have a small park. Immediately, I'm gonna plop it down here, but there's also a small plaza, and it should fit in perfectly. There you go. That is nice. And we also have space here up front. So I'm going to place it right over here. There you go. It's not centered, however, so let's try to relocate that. There you go. Now it's centered. Okay, now towards the back, we have space to add in attachments. For example, these things, right? So I made sure we have ample space. So for now, we're just gonna keep it as is. But let's go ahead and add in some more pathways. So I like what we made here. So I'm using the building itself and trying to like design around it. So let's try to do that same thing with this. So we have patterns here where they curve. So let's try to use curved pathways. Okay, autumn is nearly upon us. Our trees are slowly growing. Oh, I just noticed that we also have offices available. And I think we also have a college. Yeah, all we need to do is unlock that. So we're gonna go to development, and then education, and then we have college. There you go. Okay, let's see if we can fit her somewhere here. What we've also unlocked is that we have low rent housing. So take care of using this, because a lot of people would complain, or they would complain of small houses. So use this sparingly. As you notice, I only plopped down one and it already depleted the whole thing. So you just need to put like small areas, and then just add in the medium density housing. Boom, and we've unlocked our first signature building, the Polaris Suite. So this it increases the well-being within 1 kilometer, so that's quite long. And again, you kind of want to put it like somewhere in the middle, right? So I place my services here. So a good spot will be in this area, and it should make everyone around this pretty much happy. So let's go ahead and plop her down here. And boom, we are now also Tiny Town. That was actually rather quick. Let's go ahead and add in some filler. So I just don't want to put all, like just zoned buildings. You need to add in some parking lots. Okay, so at level 5, I think we'll end it here. We have pretty much great progress. So if we look at what we've accomplished, I'm gonna use the button next to the 1 just to get rid of the whole thing. So this is what our starting city looks like. It is definitely not grid. The only grid that I have is here, but this will now stop. So in the next episode, we're gonna create a better industrial area. So we're gonna be using more of the things, like this. And yeah, I think it looks pretty great. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let the game run. So doing that, the trees will grow, and in the same time our citizens will become educated. So it's okay just to let the game play out. So we have a deficit, but I'm not sure, or I don't think it's really going to collapse our city. So even with this, I'm not too concerned about. And another thing that we notice is there's not a lot of alerts, right? We are at 2,600 population, and so far there's only like 3 alerts that we see. This one is an abandoned. We can simply just demolish that, and these things will kind of work themselves out eventually. Just like that guy there, he stopped complaining. So yeah, this is a pretty excellent start. So we have our poop water. Yeah, let's go ahead and change that then. I mean, we have some development points. So let's get rid of that. So water treatment plant, I can unlock it. And then we are going to place down that wastewater facility. Let's put it in another location. Okay, I'm not sure why I saw all of those thumbs down. In any case, we can now turn this one off. And let's check. No one is complaining. So let's go ahead and demolish this. And let's fill in the gap. And there we have it. No poop water in the river. All right, and this is what the city looks like when all the trees are fully grown. So all the houses kind of just disappeared beyond the trees, but I really like the road layout. It's erratic, yet it has purpose, right? And the most important thing is that we did not do grid, or it's not heavy. It's definitely minimal, so I really like that. And also, we didn't use a lot of tiles. This is, for the most part, the main starting grid, right? And so now at least you know that you don't need to have like maximum grid just to level up your city. And the other thing to take note is that when we ended before all the trees are grown, it was September 2023, and now it's 14 months later. So it took 14 months for it to grow. And also our population has gone up. It used to be around 3,000, and also our income has definitely grown since then. And I didn't do anything, meaning I didn't like change policies. I didn't make the parking lots more expensive. I will not do that to a small city because it is ridiculous to have parking lots like $50 and up. So I kept it at 10 to be reasonable, right? Because you want to be a good mayor for your city. And speaking of which, being a good mayor, all we need to do in order to fix these like low rent and other issues is you just gotta check this thing. So what we're gonna do in the next episode is we're gonna provide mail service, and we're gonna provide internet and more health coverage and all other things that we have not unlocked. So another thing that happened within that span of 14 months is we've leveled up twice, and I did not do anything. The game was just running. We've also have more tiles to unlock, and I noticed one other thing is that our water level dropped, and I think it's because of this thing. So this is really pumping water, and it's causing an effect in our area. So perhaps a good idea is to move this further downstream so it doesn't affect our area here, because I don't necessarily want to terraform this any further. And yeah, so this is what our city looks like. I'm pretty happy with what it, you know, the outcome of it. Yeah, most especially that we really avoided doing grid, and it turned out well.